In the previous talk, you have heard about the following point. Namely, in the first sentence of the Adhyasa Bhashya, Yushmadasmat Pratyayo Gocharayoho Vishya etc. There, Asmat Pratyagochara has to stand only for Pratyagatma, that is the Sushuptatma. That is one in the dream, deep sleep state. Okay. But unfortunately, Brahman has been placed in that position. It's a wrong placement. Therefore, as a consequence, there has been a cascade of mistakes, okay, throughout. Mistakes in the sense that they are not found either in the Bhashya or in the Shruti. Okay. Actually, many of them directly even oppose Bhashya and Shruti. Okay. Therefore, let me briefly say what exactly is mithya. And this statement holds, it does not have to be changed in between, anytime. Mithya is the following thing. See, Jagat, the Upadana Karana of Jagat is Brahman. Okay. This becomes very clear that wherever there is pot, certainly there is clay also. So nobody will miss the point. But in the case of Jagat and Brahman, only Jagat is visible and not Brahman. Okay. Therefore, people have Brahman is of very different nature also. Therefore, the general tendency of common people is to place Brahman, Jagat completely different from Brahman. Brahman will be somewhere in Kailas or Vaikuntha, somewhere. And this is certainly independent. Therefore, any object that is viewed as different from Brahman is called mithya. Because considering different Brahman means what I am saying does not have upadana. Okay. A thing which does not have upadana can never come into existence. Therefore, I am saying something which doesn't exist. Okay. Therefore, Shankaracharya tells very clearly this in Mundaka Bhashya, namely, Agre Abrahma Iva Avidya Drishtinam Pratyavabhasamanam Idam Jagat Brahmaiva Abrahma Pratya Sarva Avidya Matra Rajjvam Sarpa Pratya. That is, people with avidya drishti, avidya view, those who don't have vidya, they will see the Jagat as different from Brahman, Abrahman, though actually it is Brahman itself. Therefore, his view, Abrahma Pratyaya Sarva, that is in his mind, there is the Jagat which is different from Brahman, not in front. He may show it in front, but actually it exists only in his brain, in his buddhi. Therefore, that is like the idea of serpent existing in the buddhi when he is looking at the rope. So here, therefore, nothing is different from Brahman. Anything viewed as different from Brahman is called asat. Okay? And that will be mithya. Of course, then we completed that, and we all dealt with all the consequent errors also. Now finally we took up the first sutra, Athato Brahma Jignasa. Atha is afterwards, that is after sadhana sampatti. Ataha means because the phala of karma is anitya, that is, it is temporary, whereas the phala of Brahmajnana is permanent. Therefore, one who wants to get rid of this when he was interested in this phala, obviously he has to understand Brahman. Okay, that's the thing. Now, the third we will come to that. Atha ataha Brahma Jignasa. What is Brahma Jignasa? Brahmano Jignasa, Brahma Jignasa. That is Jignasa of Brahman. What is Jignasa? Jignasa is Jnatum Ichha Jignasa. Sa is there, is referred to as San Pratyaya. Actually, it means Ichha, that is desire. What for? The desire is what for? Means Karma Phalabhashyatvad Ichhayaha. That is, after knowing it, whatever I want to obtain, I will obtain. That is the Ichha. Therefore, when we say I want to know Brahman, actually there are two things involved here. I want to know Brahman not for the sake of itself, but for the sake of the phala. What exactly is the phala? The phala is complete cessation of grief. Okay. Complete cessation of grief comes only when I realize that this Brahman is myself. Therefore, Shankaracharya tells this as avagati. Therefore, there are two steps here. Knowing Brahman is the Brahma Jnanam. Knowing Brahman. And then avagati, that I am myself that Brahman. Okay. And this avagati is the final step, because Brahma avagatirhi purushartha. Only then my desire gets fulfilled. That is, grief is totally lost. How does it happen? Nishesha samsara bija avidya janartha nibarhadat. That is, it completely removes all that is consequent results of avidya. It will go. Therefore, my desire is actually avagati. But for that, jnana is pramana. I have to understand first Brahman and then get its experience. In fact, this is not very difficult to understand. Suppose I want to get at something. Suppose I want to get my daughter married. Okay. Then I will first understand about the boy. I will collect all the information. And when everything is satisfactory, I will try to own him as a son-in-law. Okay. Similarly here also, I should first know Brahman and then decide to get the avagati. Therefore, this is in two stages. Now, this Brahman, what is this knowing and what is this realization? That is myself. This will be a very lengthy discussion, but I will put it very briefly. Knowing Brahman almost looks like impossible, because Brahman has features very different from the things I generally understand. In other words, all the things that I am understanding, they have got all parichana, that is limited. They have shapes, they have form, they have activity. Therefore, I understand only through forms and activity. But Brahman has no form at all, neither activity. Therefore, it is impossible to grasp Brahman through manas, through the buddhi. In fact, Shastra recognizes this. It tells, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. In fact, mind can never grasp it. It says clearly. However, just as majority of the statements in Veda are mysterious, the same Veda says, Manasaivanudrashtavyam. It also says, you have to grasp, you have to understand Brahman only through the buddhi. There is no other way, it also says. Therefore, these two opposite statements, how they are to be reconciled, if you say, it is in the following way. It is inaccessible to the buddhi, which is malasahita, which is dirty, and which is not transparent, and which is having which is really blunt. Okay, therefore what then it is not possible to understand. But if the buddhi is ati nirmala, very clean, and ati swachha, very transparent, and ati sukshma, very subtle, then certainly it will be able to grasp Brahman also. Okay. Here, nirmalatva means completely free from all faults like raga, dvesha, etc. And what is swachhatva? Swachhatva means transparent. Transparent means, see, because we are all influenced by all of our understandings already, and Brahman is very dissimilar to all these things, we find it very difficult to grasp Brahman. For that, the obstruction becomes our previous experiences. We hold on to our previous experience with some tenacity. Therefore, unless I become totally unprejudiced, I become thoroughly objective, I will never bring in my prejudice or bias, only then I will be able to understand. This is called Satchatva, transparency. Whatever the Shruti says, it will go straight into the buddhi. Okay. Only then we can understand. What about Sukshmatva? Become very blunt, because we have been using it only to understand things which are very crude. Okay. Therefore, it should also become Sukshma, very subtle in some arguments. Okay. In that case, certainly it will grasp. Therefore, how to grasp Brahman? This is the question. Now, granting that the mind has become pure, the mind has become transparent, and the mind has become subtle, the process proceeds like this. Now, Brahman is too completely unlike what we have been understanding. That is, it is not asatya, that is unchanging, it is not changing. It is not jada, that is, it is not inert, and it is also not parichina, not limited. It is satya, jnana, and ananta. Therefore, when I concentrate my mind on such a thing, what happens is only things with vikara, things with shape also only come to my mind. I go on rejecting them. This is not what I am searching for. Therefore, if the mind is equipped with these abilities, then gradually the buddhi, what happens is, it stops seeing all limited things. It stops seeing changing things. It stops seeing blunt things. Okay. What really happens is, the mind also just stays without any motion whatsoever. It is called nishprachara, that is without motion it stays. Okay. Actually, this prachara is a word that is used by Bhagavan Vyasa. The same thing Shankaracharya also uses it for it. Nishprachara, it becomes without. Now, then corresponding to this buddhi, there is only one object, that is Brahman, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Okay. Now see, therefore, when I decide that certain the chair is there, when the mental impression is that of a chair. Now similarly, when there is no impression of anything concrete, then I conclude that corresponding to that state of affairs, there is an object which is Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam. That is Brahman. Okay. Therefore, I am supposed to have grasped that Brahman exists with these features. Okay. Now here, a little caution. What exactly is Jnana? Jnana, we generally take it as the shape of the object that we get when we see the object or when we understand the object. Suppose I see a pot, I get the picture of a pot in the buddhi. Now, these pictures, these pratyas as they are called, they are changing depending upon the object. Therefore, all these pratyas are of the nature of change. They are changing. Here, what we are getting is ghata jnana, pata jnana, asana jnana, like this. Dvara jnana, like this. Now, all these jnanas are changing. But actually, in these changing things, just as parts, jugs, bricks and etc., tails, etc. are changing, but clay is the same thing. Similarly here, all these Vishesha Jnanas, qualified Jnanas go on changing only due to the adjective, namely of the wall, of the door, of the asana, of the seat, of the pot, of the cot, etc. Whereas Jnana is constant always. That is Ghata Jnana, Pata Jnana, Dvara Jnana, etc. Jnana is constant, only the Visheshana is changing. Therefore, when my buddhi stops receiving any Visheshana, any adjective, then it has to correspond only to the Jnana of Brahman. This Jnana, Shankaracharya separately calls it by a different name as Jnapti, or the Visheshya Jnana, the known Jnana, the unqualified Jnana. Okay. Now see here. Now with this, we know that what I have obtained now is Brahma Jnana. That is, I have obtained the knowledge of Brahman. Now, this is the Jnana I have got. And what is the Jnaya for that? The Jnaya is Brahman. And who is the Jnata? Myself, the owner of this buddhi. Okay. Now, here I am Jnata, Brahman is Jnaya. Therefore, certainly there is no possibility of oneness between the two. Because there is Jnaya, this is Jnana. This is my Jnata, I am Jnata. Jnata and Jnaya are certainly different. Whenever we understand anything, whether it is Brahman or anything other than Brahman, okay, certainly Jnata and Jnaya are always different. Okay. Here also Jnana is different. Here is also Brahman is different. Therefore, now comes the question. There is no question of finding oneness between these two. Therefore, how to get avagati that Brahman is myself? If you see, then you have to take a big leap. Now, when I was trying to understand Brahman, my attention was outside in trying to grasp Brahman. Now, I look at the Jnata himself. Who is the Jnata? We have very, in great detail, we have fixed the Jnata as the Sushuptatma. Okay, the one in Sushupti. Okay, now see, this is the Jnata. Now, this Jnata is very peculiar creature. In what way? See, this Jnata is myself. That is, in other words, I know I am that. I know I am Jnata. At that time I may not be knowing, but I am Jnata, I know that. And I also know that I don't know who I am. I don't know my own Swarupa. I also know that also. I also know that I have absolutely no connection with the external world. Now see Brahman. Brahman is also completely different from the world. The world is not different from Brahman. This is completely different. Now, the features of Brahman are Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, Ekatvam. That is oneness. Therefore, now you see here. Now, there is nothing asatya in me. There is nothing changing in me, in prajna, okay, in jnata. And there is nothing limited in me. Therefore, I am satya and ananta. And then, you also see ekatva. Actually, we have discussed this. This jnata is only eka in all the bodies, whoever it may be. Kshetrajna is always one. We have already noticed it. And there is infinite ananda, which is not born out of any object. Therefore, this is the Swarupa of Brahman also. Therefore, there is also ananda. Only one thing. One more thing is jnana. Now remember, when I understood Brahman, my mind became still. When it became still, what happened was, in the mind, when it became blank, okay, there was no qualification, there was only jnana. But that jnana is not the real jnana, it is the image of jnana. It's the image of jnana. Whereas, if I take myself as jnata, what is associated with me is only jnana. In other words, when I don't have anything other than myself to understand, as in Sushupti, my jnana is already in jnana. Brahma jnana itself. Therefore, in other words, what has happened? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, Ekatvam, these are all features of Brahman. All those features are evident in me. I can actually measure it. I am getting an idea of it. Therefore, what I should do now for the sake of avagati is the following. Till now, while understanding Brahman, my attention, the buddhi was flowing towards Brahman, which is outside. Whereas now, the same Brahman is here, I will shift my attention here. The buddhi, instead of running outwards, it will run inwards now. Okay. Now what has happened is, this prajna or sushuptatma is a peculiar creature in the following sense. It is myself from my point of view. But from the point of view of the Shastra, it is Brahman. The object is the same. But in understanding, it is different. In my understanding, I see it is as myself. I am ignorant. I don't know who I am. But from the point of view of the Shastra, it is actually Brahman. Therefore, when I reflect upon the features of Brahman, namely Satya, Jnana, Ananta, Ananda, Ekatva, etc., they are found in me also. Therefore, with conviction, I go on flowing, keep the buddhi flowing towards myself, and also with the thought that I am Brahman. I am not simply, not that I don't know myself, I am myself Brahman. This thought process will go continuously. What I am saying, whenever thoughts are there, this will go as thought process. But actually, when I reach it, this thought process also stops. Okay. Then, actually, in a flash of second, I have avagati. Okay. But, nevertheless, it doesn't stop there. Because it comes and goes, as in flashes. Therefore, for a long time, the buddhi has to be flowing like that, till it becomes firm in me that I am myself Brahman. I will give a very common example to understand this. See, in this process, what is happening is the following. I have understood Brahman, but now I am trying to live with Brahman, in Brahman. Okay. If I don't live long enough, I don't develop this oneness. For this, I will give an example. See, when a girl marries, comes to another house, so many things are there. The moment they saw each other and agreed, already she feels she is the wife, and he feels he is the husband. And when the Lagna Patrika is over, when it is fixed, he becomes more convinced, both of them. The marriage takes place, they come closer. They have started leading life, they still come closer. But nevertheless, for something like 1 year, it goes on, the feeling of difference goes on persisting. There is mutual fear, suspicion like this. Therefore, but after 1 year of constant living, they shed this feeling of difference. They feel one together. Similarly here also, I have to live long enough with Brahman to be convinced that I am Brahman. Okay, this is called nididhyasana. Okay, so now, with this nididhyasana, how long it should be done? I am reminded of one instance, or more or less a joke. There was Samuel Johnson was there. He was very clever in giving answers. there was one person who wanted to embarrass him by asking a peculiar question which he will not be able to answer. So what it was, he asked, and so many people had assembled. Yes. Miss Johnson, how much fish do you need from going from here to the moon? He asked. If you keep fish, one touching the other, how many fish are necessary? He told he won't be able to answer, and I can laugh. So Johnson waited for a few minutes and then told, my dear friend, even one is enough if it is long enough, he said. So therefore, how long adhyasana to be done is not a correct question. You have to do it as long as you don't get it, this feeling of oneness. Okay. Therefore, in this way, we get the avagati. Okay. Now, I will go to the next thing. Now we come back to the question of discussing about Brahman. Shankaracharya places one significant doubt. What is that? Tat pudar brahma aprasiddham va syat. Yadi prasiddham na jignastavyam, ata aprasiddham naiva shakyam jignastamiti. Yes. Is Brahman very famous? Then it need not be discussed. Is Brahman not all known to anybody? Then it cannot be discussed. Therefore, what is to be done now? Say, no, it is well known, therefore it can be discussed. And it is not at all known, therefore it has to be discussed. Okay. In what sense? It is famous, well known in the following sense. Everybody has some vague idea of it. They know some such thing exists, but they don't know what it is. Okay. Therefore, because they know something like that, it is discussable. And because they don't know what exactly it is, it has to be discussed. Okay. Therefore, Shankaracharya gives two things. See, he invokes a grammatical point, namely Brahma, the very word Brahma itself is, if you take the root, the word Brahma, Brahmatayar dhatoho, okay, Brihivriddhau, okay. If you take that root and expand it, you will get all the features of Brahman. That is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava. Okay. Therefore, Brahman exists. Even the word proves that such a thing exists. Okay. But, sir, we are common people, we don't know any grammar. Okay. What about us? This is not any big proof for everybody. Then he says, no, it is not only that. Everybody also knows. How? Sarvasyatmatvacha brahmastitva prasiddhi. Because everybody is telling myself. I. This I itself is actually Brahman, only he doesn't know it, that is all. See this once again, remember. Asmat pratyagochara. I am saying, though I am saying I, what are all the blunders I have been committing? I know I am not an object. I am different from an object. But nevertheless, I have made it an object. How did I make? I did not know anything. I slept well. I enjoyed blissful sleep. I am describing him. That in other words, because I don't know him exactly, I myself confess that I don't know who I am. Okay. But I give a vague description of him. Okay. Therefore, this is itself Brahman. Shankaracharya says. Sarva atmastitvam pasyate na nahamasmiti. Nobody says in deep sleep I was not there. In fact, it's a remarkable thing that you have to notice. Namely, there is nothing to prove that I exist there. For instance, if you ask for a proof, did you see? Did you hear? No, I can't give it. Okay. Then how did I say? Though it is not visible, though I can't even feel it even by mind, I have been asserting that I am there. This itself shows that I must be even Even though I am not able to recognize it with my indriyas or my buddhi, I exist. This itself is an indication that Brahman exists, that is Brahman. Okay? Nobody says I was not there. And this Atma, this Pratyekatma is himself Brahman. Is himself Brahman, this Pratyekatma. Remember, generally people have missed this. When this Atma, when I say, the one whom I know in deep sleep, though I know him in deep sleep, but I don't know who I am. It is this one which is called Atma. Whenever you say Atma, Atma refers only to him and not to the Turiya Atma. This must be very, very clear in our minds. Okay? Therefore, Shankaracharya stresses this. Brahma, I am Atma, Brahma. What is this Atma? Kosav Atma? Yaha Pratyekatma, Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Bodha, Vijnata. This is the Pratyekatman. Who is this Pratyekatman? This is Pratyekatman who is understanding everything. Is the Jnata. Okay. Therefore, I know I am the Jnata. Only I don't know that I am Brahman. Therefore, you have to struggle with all sadhana sampatti and some Sharvana, Manana, Nididhyasana. You have to understand that you are yourself Brahman. Therefore, notice the following thing. When Shankaracharya is telling that this Pratyekatma, the Jnata, is Brahman, then there is certainly a strong desire in me to concentrate on myself and realize Brahman. And simply Turiya Atma, someone is there, that Atma is Brahman, whom I do not know at all. What does it mean? I can't do Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is concentrating on myself as Brahman. If there is some Turiya Atma which is Brahman, I don't care. I can't be in touch with it. It is not. I cannot come into contact with it. Whereas here I am in contact with myself. Therefore, placing Turiya Atma in its place has done a lot of a great loss for all sadhakas, because they don't know where to search for Atma Jnana. This is the biggest tragedy that has taken place by placing Turiya Atman in place of Asmat Pratyagochara. Okay? Now, then I come to, so I will take the next thing here. So, the next thing is, then he says, then if it is well known, how is it vague? You know, everybody says, I don't know who I am. Not only that, people go on describing in various ways. Some people say he's karta, some people say he's bhokta, some people say he's only bhokta, not karta. And some people say the body himself is this, some people say it's indriya, some people say it is the mind. How can there be different opinions? Different opinions come only when I have got some vague knowledge. I have got a vague knowledge, therefore I imagine and tell something about it. Therefore, the very fact that various people are telling in various different ways shows very clearly that everybody knows it, but only not correctly. They have got a vague notion of it. Okay? Therefore, we can't take anything, opinion like this. What has to be done in the following way? If we don't take the correct one according to the Veda, then we will be missing. Not only will be missing, we may even enter into a sort of great grief. Because don't you see? So for instance, there are some terrorists coming, What do? They tell all sorts of things. You will go to heaven. There will be so many pleasant things there. So to go to the heaven, I will give you the key. Keep it. And he keeps the key, some key, okay, and then commits suicide. Therefore, just because he has got a vague idea, it doesn't help him. He has to know correctly what it is if he has to get rid of grief. Okay? Therefore, in the further sutras, this great discussion takes place. Okay? Now with this, given a sort of a brief gist of the first sutra. Now let me come to the second sutra. Sutra is this. Told, I don't know who I am in Adhyasa Bhashya. Now you are Brahman, understand Brahman. But what is Brahman? I don't know. Janmadhyasya, second sutra. You see the remarkable connection here. So Shankaracharya says, Brahma jignasam ityuktam kim lakshanam punastad brahma iti aha bhagavan sutrakara janmadhyasya. Okay. Now, see, here janmadhyasya means Brahman is that by which Janma, Sthiti, Laya, that is creation, sustenance and destruction or of this Jagat is taking place. That is, Brahman is the Srishtikarta, Layakarta, Sthitikarta. He is that. Briefly it is this. Okay? Now the moment it is told like this, one great question comes up. It is called Janmadi. Janma, etc. Creation, etc. Now, when you take Janmadi as one whole word, Janma is an adjective for it. Janma is an adjective for it. Other two things are also there. Sthiti and Laya. Now the question comes, whenever we take such a situation comes, we can take with the Visheshana or without the Visheshana. I'll give an example. Suppose I say, please bring the chairman here. No chairman means he doesn't bring the chairman along with the chair. Okay, he leaves the chair. Chairman, that chair is only an adjective. Without the adjective, he brings him. Suppose I say, bring that black fellow. Okay, he can't bring that black fellow without the blackness. He has to bring it together. Therefore, here, when you say Janma Adi, do you separate Janma and Sthiti Laya separately and take only the Janma? Okay? Or you take all the three? That is the Visheshana also you take? Say, you have to take the Visheshana also. In other words, Janma, Sthiti, Laya, all the three are to be taken. All the three are done only by Brahman. Because, you see, suppose you separate, what could happen is, I will say Brahman is the Srishtikarta. And for Sthiti, Laya, I will take another Upadana Karana. So Brahman becomes Nimitta and some other thing becomes Upadana. Okay. For instance, as pot maker. See, for the pot, who makes it? Pot maker. Okay. Pot maker uses the clay. Okay. Similarly, Brahman, it is using only the Prakriti and preparing it. If you say that, then Prakriti becomes Upadana and he becomes only the Nimitta. That is not according to Veda. What Veda tells is, Brahman itself is both Nimitta and Upadana. Therefore, you have to take Janmadi means Janma, Sthiti, Bhangam, all the three by Brahman itself. That is called Tadguna Samvijnana Bahuri. Okay. Okay. Now, you see, in this creation of Brahman, okay, there are two things. What two things? Nimittatva and Upadanatva, both are there. Now, in this creation also, both Kshetra is there and Kshetrajna is also there. Therefore, what happens? Everything becomes Brahman. See this? Before creation, Nimitta and Upadana were not different. There was only one. Therefore, Nimitta and Upadana should also be one. Okay, the same thing should be both. Okay. Therefore, how does it happen? I have explained it already 2 days back. Namely, Brahman by itself has no initiative. Okay. Therefore, you take the help of Jiva and get the initiative. Brahman enters in the Jiva, takes the initiative and does it. Okay. Actually, the initiative belongs to Jiva only, not to him. But it is superposed on him. Anen jivena atma nanupravishya namrupe vyakarvani. Then somebody asked, we should do all this circus? Who actually did it, to tell me? See, who actually did it means Hiranyagarbha is the first Jiva was born. Okay. He made use of Prakriti and created the whole world. Okay. Then tell only so much. Prakriti is there, Hiranyagarbha was born, and he is doing everything. Why do you want to mix both? Remember, if I understand only Hiranyagarbha, he is having samsara like myself. Because he is also creating. He is also getting all sorts of things, vyavahara. And if I understand only that, that is only jada. There is no point in understanding him. What I want to, why I am trying to understand Brahman? Because I will get rid of my samsara. To not get rid of samsara, I am doing it. Therefore, you see, Jiva is also coming from Brahman. Prakriti is also coming from Brahman. Therefore, neither Hiranyagarbha nor Prakriti is different from Brahman. Therefore, what you should do is say that they are not different. Therefore, Brahman itself is Nimitta and also Upadana you say. Okay? Sir, Brahman is not Nimitta at all. Suppose you say Brahman is Nimitta, would it not amount to telling a lie? It is not a lie. Because, see this building. Now this building is actually built by a mason. Okay. But now who built this? Nobody says the mason's name. Whose name is told? The owner's name is told. The owner's name is told. Because it is not a lie, it is in a secondary sense. What is the secondary sense? Because he has supplied all the material and also given the coolie and all that, therefore he said, therefore whoever supplies the energy for our action, he is supposed to be the owner. Similarly here, Hiranyagarbha, whatever transaction he makes, all the energy, all the force, all the strength for him, it is coming only from him. The Upadana is Brahman itself. Therefore, in the secondary sense we do. This is called Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa is not a lie. It's a way of telling. It's a secondary sense way of telling. Okay. Therefore, if we understand no Brahman, then I can understand that there is no samsara in him. I am myself that also. Therefore, in me also there is no samsara. This will lead me to mukti. Okay. Therefore, we are doing this. Now comes the question. What is it? Brahman has no connection with Jagat at all. Brahman has no connection with Jagat. And Srishti, Sthiti, Laya all belong to Jagat. Okay. How can you determine through Jagat, Brahman, which is not at all connected with it? Say the sentence once again. How can you fix Brahman, who is not at all connected with Jagat, by discussing through Jagat? My dear sir, Brahman is not connected with Jagat, but Jagat is connected with Brahman. Therefore, through Jagat I can go there. Just as, once again see this example. Meaning has nothing to do with the words. There is no connection with words. But words have connection with meaning. Therefore, through the words I can understand the meaning. Similarly here also. Therefore, you see, Brahman is understood in 3 stages. What are 3 stages? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya is a transaction of the world, of the universe. Okay. Now, Srishti, Sthiti of what? Means of the Jagat. What do you mean by of the Jagat? Is Jagat different from Srishti, Sthiti, Laya? Yes. What do you mean? It always exists? Yes, it always exists. Yatha cha brahma trishukara sattam vibhijati evam idam karya jagat trishukara sattam vibhijati. Jagat always exists. Okay. Therefore, that Jagat becomes manifest and unmanifest. That's all. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyaktinanyeva tatra kavarteva. Therefore, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya are upalakshana for Brahman. Features, distant features of Brahman are nearer to him. Okay. Then through this lakshana, what we get? We are getting Jagat. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, what? Of Jagat. Therefore, now we have come to Jagat. Now, what is this Jagat? What are the features of this Jagat? Asatya, Jada and Parichinna, changing, inert and limited. Okay. Now don't think that Brahman is not related. This Satya, this Jagat is related to Brahman, though Brahman is not related to Jagat. Therefore, Asatyatva, Jadatva and Parichinnatva become the Dharma Lakshana of Brahman. Closer, still closer. Now, see, remember, whenever I speak of a Lakshana, Lakshana is in some sense a Visheshana. Visheshana is there only to make us understand the Visheshya. The purpose of Visheshana is only to understand the Visheshya. Okay. Therefore, now, from this Lakshana of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Visheshana, I arrived at Jagat. And their Lakshanas are Asatyatva, Jadatva and Parichinnatva. Through those Lakshanas, I go to Brahman. Okay. Therefore, Asatyatva, Jadatva, Parichinnatva are appearing in Brahman. Actually, appearing in Brahman. But Brahman is not become like that. Therefore, remove those things and you will get Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam as the features of Brahman. That is Swarupa Lakshana. Okay. Now let's see briefly. Once again I will tell. Namely, Brahman is understood through creation, destruction of Jagat. Okay. So creation, destruction is also distantly related with Brahman. And of Jagat, Asatyatva, Jadatva, nearer to Brahman. And then finally, if I negate them, I get Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Okay. Therefore, remember, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam I have derived through the Kshetra. Okay. But Kshetrajna is also in one of the creations. Kshetrajna, Jiva is also created. Jiva never dies. He is never born. What do you mean by creating? That is right. But a Jiva without this body, you will never know whether the Jiva is there or not. Jiva is recognized only through the body. Isn't it so? Therefore, when the body appears, you simply say, as a sort of description, Jiva is born. Okay. Now see, through him also you can understand Brahman. How? Because you see, now his Srishti, Sthiti, Laya are the Upalakshanas of Brahman. Okay. Then what about himself? He is Jnata, Karta, Bhokta, etc. He is Bhokta. Okay. Bhokta means what? Tasya priyame vasharaha modo dakshana paksha paramodottara paksha. That is, I'm very happy. Say, I'm very happy today. I got the utmost happiness. You see, this priya, moda, paramoda. There are various gradations in our happiness. Remember, various gradations are adjectives for happiness. Ananda. Therefore, if I remove these adjectives, there is Ananda. And that Ananda is once again Brahman. Therefore, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam features of Brahman are derived through the Kshetra, and Anandam is derived through the Kshetrajna. Okay? Now, here the description is given as in Sthitikala. Next. Yataha karana nirdesha asya jagataha. He is giving the description of Jagat. What sort of Jagat is created by Brahman? Namarupabhyam vyakritasya aneka kartribhakta sanyuktasya priti niyata desha kala nimitta kriyaphalashrasya manasa pachintarjana rupasya janmastiti bhangamyataha sarvajnat sarvashakte kanadbhuta tad Brahma. Okay. These are very mysterious, complicated worlds. Okay. How? Namarupa abhyam vyakritasya. Now there are divisions here. Each has got a name. Okay. There are divisions here, but still you are calling it as Brahma. Oh, it's nothing like that. See, yesterday I saw only a mass of clay. There was only one word at that time, clay. Now, the same clay is standing in the form of pots, jugs and tails and so on and so forth. Therefore, there are two names now. I can call them as pot, jugs, etc. and also as clay. Isn't it so? Identically here also. Now, from the point of view of Indriya Jnana, there are many. There are names also for each of them. Okay, but in its Swarupa, once again it is one and the same thing. Okay, Aneka Kartru Bhaktra Sanyuktasya. See, so many jivas are here. Aneka Kartru Bhaktra. Okay, they are all there. Now, Pratinita Deshakal Nimitta Kriyaphala Shreyasya. They are enjoying, okay, they are experiencing. Now, how are they experiencing? Kriya Phala. Whatever they do, they enjoy that phala. And to do kriya or to get phala, there must be an order. Niyata desha kala nimitta. In a certain place, an action can take place. In another place, it cannot. And similarly, there is a time. In a certain time, something action takes place. Similarly, there is also some reason for it, for that action. Therefore, there is connectivity in this. Desha kala nimitta. Okay. Like this. Oh, was there? This word. Manasapi achintyarchana rupasya. Actually, it is so complicated that you can never think of, one thing is coming from, one cause is there. Yeah. It is impossible to deduce by inference. Okay? Because, see, in all complicated things, science proceeds in the following way. How does science proceed? See, it knows, it is seeing something, okay. For some reason, it wants to see the commonness in this. Therefore, it guesses, or something happens. Therefore, it says it is the cause is this. For instance, for example, you take, I am seeing solids, liquids and gases. Okay. Now, I know that take for instance sugar. After some time, it gets dissolved, something like that. It is not there. But I can't say it is not there, I can't say it is. It is there also, in the form of sweetness. But it has lost other properties. Therefore, I think there must be something or an object which you make it smaller and smaller, something may have in it, but it will come here. So it's a guesswork. Then I postulate molecules. Okay. Then molecules also become visible. Then I have to try a cause for that. I will say atoms are there. Then I will get also some sort of go on imagining, and also there are some methods of investigating. By making use of all that, I say, oh, it's a nucleus. There is an electron, etc. Then I see a nucleus also. Then I say, no, it is made of so many particles and all that. Goes on growing. It is endless. Certainly it is endless. Okay. Therefore, manasapi achintarchana rupasya. Therefore, when the Shastra says all this is taking place only by Brahman, it means it can happen only by Sarvajna and Sarvashakta. That is omniscient and omnipotent. Okay? Not otherwise. In fact, here it needs too much of very complicated discussion. I am putting it very briefly because of lack of time. Okay. Now see. Now, what is the difference between the cause that is determined with the help of science and the difference between that cause and what Veda determines? Let me put once again. Veda is also looking at the world. Science also is looking at the world. Science is also telling its cause, and Veda is also telling a cause. Therefore, what exactly is the difference between the two? You see, now see, science goes on discussing only an intermediate cause. To follow this carefully. Just as I told, I gave an example. Told, for all solids, liquids and gases, it postulates molecules. Okay. How it postulates, let us not go into the details. It postulates. Now, when it says molecules, molecules is not the ultimate cause. Molecule is also the effect of some other cause. What is that? It is atoms. Okay. Atoms also not the ultimate cause. It is also the effect of some other cause. What is it? Nucleus. Understood? Like this, what science is doing is only catching hold of an intermediate cause. Okay. Now, what Shastra is telling is the ultimate cause. Okay. Now see here. How does it shift straight away to the ultimate cause? In what process it goes? See. For instance, see. Now, I say, this plant is there. Plant is born. Okay. Plant grows. Plant has started flowering. Now it has given fruits. It is decaying. It died. Okay? I have told all this. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya I have described. In Sthiti there are so many descriptions. Okay? I told all that. Now when I describe like this, the cause of the plant need not be Brahman. It is earth, I know that. It is an intermediate cause. Have you understood? The cause for plant, an intermediate cause is the earth. Okay. Now, in the case of intermediate cause, what happens is, it is, of course, in this case it is I can directly see. Okay. Even otherwise, I can guess sometimes. Because the relationship between the effect and the cause is called vyapti. Vyapti, I'm not able to remember the word in English. Okay? Vyapti is the relationship. Okay. Now, the relationship, the moment you say relationship, there sort of semblance must be there, resemblance must be there, similarity must be there. There is some connecting link between the two, means there must be some sort of similarity. Okay, for instance, earth is also solid, this is also solid. Okay? Okay, no, earth is containing water, and earth is also being shining because of Surya and all that. Therefore, all these are necessary for this plant to come. Therefore, they are all intermediate causes. I can guess. Though there is no direct connection between sun and the plant, perceptible connection, I can say it is necessary. Because I see, if the plant is grown only in shade, it doesn't develop this green color sometimes. Okay. Therefore, I can guess it. Therefore, in this way, you can always guess at an intermediate cause. Okay. Why? Because the intermediate cause is also an effect. You have some experience of all causes, all effects. I have an idea of an effect. Therefore, that is also an effect. Therefore, some idea will overlap. Therefore, I can guess it. So, how do you go to ultimate cause in that case? Ultimate cause is you take all the features of effects. Consider all the features of effects. All the features means what? Innumerable are there, countless. Now, countless are there, but you can classify them under three. All features of the world, wherever you see, anything, whatever you have seen till now, including science. Okay. What are the three features? The three features are change. Changing color, changing shape, all these things live. Change is one feature. It is inert, another feature. And it is limited, another feature. These are three features. See here. All the three features may not be there. Even if one feature is there, it is sufficient. Okay. Therefore, in general, these are the three features. Beyond these three, you don't have anything in the world. Have you understood? Therefore, when I include all the effects into account, then when I say that he is Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Karana, that is, all features have been included. Therefore, that cause, the ultimate cause, it should not have any feature of the effect. See once again. See, there are exclusive properties of the plant. Exclusive properties. Not seen in earth. Not seen in earth. Okay. Now, this cause, this is the cause. These properties are not there. They were born new. I am noticing it. Therefore, I say it is a cause. It doesn't have these features. Now take earth. It has got some exclusive features. It should not be there in its. It won't be there in its previous cause, and its features will not be there in previous cause. Therefore, exhaust all the intermediate causes. Therefore, all effects have been compressed here. Okay. All the effect, no effect. All effects are only asatya, jada, and parichinna. You say the karana should not have this. Therefore, in the ultimate karana, no feature of the karya will be there. Therefore, if you all the three features of all effects are can be concealed in these three: change, inertness, and finiteness. None of them will be there. Therefore, that has to be ultimate cause. It has to be Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Okay. Now, Shankaracharya says, therefore, says, न यथोक्त विशेषणस्य जगतः यथोक्त विशेषणम् ईश्वरं मुक्त्वा अन्यतः प्रधानात् अचेतनात् अणुभ्यः अभावात् संसारेण उत्पत्त्या संभावितुं शक्यम्. That is, if you take the entire creation as a whole, okay, that is including all its intermediate causes, that is also world only, okay, then it cannot be, this universe cannot come from any other force than Ishvara. Why? Because Ishvara is the only one who is different from the entire world. Okay. Of course, in Bramha Sutra Bhashya it has been proved. For instance, Pradhanat. Sankhya say Pradhana. It is Achetana. It can't become. And similarly, Anibhya, Vaisheshika. Similarly, Abhava, some Shunyavadis. And some people say Jiva. No. It has been disproved. Okay. Let us not go into detail there. Therefore, it has to be only Brahman. Here, look at the extraordinary precaution that Shankaracharya takes in using the words. There is an example here. Throughout he has been promising that Brahman is to be understood. Brahman is to be understood. Athato Brahma Jignasa. Then in the second sutra he says, Kim Lakshanam Punastad Brahma Janmadhyasyatah. He has been telling that he is going to show Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. But now suddenly he jumps to Ishvara. Suddenly here. Therefore, nothing except Ishvara can create this, he has told. Why did he bring Ishvara here all of a sudden? In fact, it is in such places that you have to notice the extraordinary super brilliance and carefulness on the part of Bhashyakara. Because if you use the word Brahman, no action is possible. This has been already told. No action is possible. But action can be associated only with Ishvara. Who is Ishvara? Brahman Shakti is there, Prakriti. You treat as though it is different and make that itself as Upadhi for Brahman. That is called Ishvara. I have given the example of a bangle. Okay. Now, bangle you can start with transaction, not with gold. Therefore, he uses the word Ishvara here. Ishvara, remember, is nothing but Brahman. Only Shastra gives it a different name only to deal with this transaction. Just as you give the name of a bangle in the case of Vyavahara, though it is only gold. Okay? Therefore, there is one thing I just wanted to point out. Okay. Now, next see here. When having told this, the opponent is telling, oh, all this you have told is only depending on inference, anumana. What all you have told can be told even by anumana. Say for instance, I know that all effects are created. Of course, I did not see the actual creation of Jagat. But I know all effects are being created. And their effects are going on here, they are changing here. Therefore, there must be some cause. This is Anumana. Okay. And Karna will not have the features of the Karya. So I can also conclude. Yeah? So this is all only inference. What is the point in bringing Veda here? Okay. Then Shankara says, no. There is a lot of difference. Because, see, finally we are going to determine Brahman, and that Brahman is to be understood as myself. Avagati. Okay. Now see, at that time, there is absolutely no trace of the world at all. Suppose when somebody says the ultimate cause is yourself, one who is sleeping in deep sleep, it's unimaginable. Nobody can say it. By any logic can you say it? It's impossible. Therefore, you have to have Shastra only. Look at these words here. Vakyartha vicharana adhyasa nirvritta hi brahmavagati na anumanadi pramanata nirvritta. By other pramanas, you can never get avagati, says. Now comes a very, very vital question. You have to follow it closely. Very thrillingly interesting. It is this. See, Shastra itself is telling that Brahman is to be discussed. Shrotavyaha mantavyaha, it says. Mantavyaha means what? You have to use logic. Discuss. Okay. So when you discuss, then Anumana is certainly there. Other Pramanas are also there. Therefore, Shastra itself is telling, okay, discuss it. Therefore, Anumana certainly plays a role. Now you are telling that it is not at all necessary, it is not possible, only Veda will decide it, you are telling. Then Shankaracharya says, now my dear sir, I will be brief once again. Here, see, understand, there are two stages in getting this realization. Pramana and Avagati. This Pramana, I fix Brahman. And then I realize that I am that Brahman. There are two steps for moksha. Follow carefully now. Now, when I have to fix Brahman, I can't fix it independently of the Jagat. I have to fix Brahman only through Jagat, not otherwise. How? Because, Jagat is an effect of Brahman. Through this Brahman, I decide this is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Okay. Therefore, I have to discuss it with only with the help of Jagat. Now remember, when you are traveling in the jurisdiction of Jagat, other Pramanas are also working. There is Pratyaksha, there is Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti. Now, suppose I make a statement against Pratyaksha. The listener will not believe it at all. I am in the region of the world. Okay. As long as I am in the region of the world, in trying to fix Brahman, as long as I am staying there, moving around, I cannot make statements which will contradict Pratyaksha Pramana, Anumana Pramana. Therefore, I have to stick to all the Pramanas. I don't know whether I am communicating. You have to use all the Pramanas. Suppose I say, no, you don't understand that. Brahman is, suppose I make some such statement like that, then I am not interested in your Brahman. Because I have to understand it. You are making me understand. Therefore, if I have to understand Brahman, Brahman is different from me. And it exists. Therefore, whenever I ask a question, you have to answer. That's your duty. Okay. Therefore, while fixing a Brahman, I should never contradict any other Pramana. I may reinterpret it, but without giving up this. Suppose I make a statement which is against Pratyaksha Pramana. It is not acceptable. Pratyaksha Pramana should also be correct. My statement should also be correct. Okay. Like this I struggle and finally I arrive at Brahman. Okay. Afterwards. Now it is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Now what happens? I have to understand that that Brahman is myself. Now see here. Follow very carefully. That Brahman is totally outside the realm of Jagat. Therefore, Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapati, they have no role to play there. Is it clear? Therefore, when I want to say that Brahman is myself, look at me. Look at me, this Sushuptatma. About Sushuptatma also, I cannot bring up Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapati. I can't bring. I suppose it's clear? See, look at this Sushuptatma. This Sushuptatma, about him, if you want to make any statement, you can't depend on some other Pratyaksha Pramana or anything like that. It is not possible. Therefore, there is a Brahman in which other Pramanas don't work. There is a Pratyekatma in which other Pramanas don't work. And no, further, Shastra is telling that Brahman is yourself. Therefore, at this stage, there is absolutely no room for any other Pramana. Except Shastra. Shastra. That is Veda. I will put it once again. See, Avagati, it takes place in 2 steps. Fixing a Brahman and then realizing that I am myself that. Okay. Now, when fixing a Brahman, I have to wade through only the Jagat. And in Jagat, all the Pramanas are working. Therefore, even Veda cannot make a statement which will contradict other Pramanas. It's a very important statement. In fact, Shankaracharya tells this. What does he say? Nahi shruti shatamapi shitogni aprakasho va iti bruvat pramanyupaiti iti bruyat shitogni aprakasho va iti tathapi arthantaram shruti vivakshitam kalpyam pramanya anyatha anupatte natu pramanantar viruddham swarchan viruddham va. Suppose Shruti says, 100 Shrutis say, fire is cold, it doesn't shed any light. Certainly it is unacceptable. Okay. Suppose it says, it doesn't say such thing. Suppose it says, then what should I do? I should do like this. I should not give up that it is shining. I should not give up that it is burning. I should not give up that up. I should give another explanation without violating this. Then that will be acceptable. Okay. For instance, I say, oh, that is much more prakasha than this. Therefore, I have so told it's only cold. It's only no prakasha. Suppose I make this statement, then it is not contradicting this. Shankaracharya does this. Therefore, the gist is the following, that during the process of fixing Brahman, Jnana Pramana, all the Pramanas function, and after that, no Pramana functions, because it is impossible that we also know it. Therefore, only Shruti becomes the Pramana. Okay? At this stage, I stop here. take it up next time.